All right, everybody, welcome in. Welcome to Sat Today. We're going to start with Pisces. Happy birthday to all you Pisceans out there. Lots going on in Pisces still. I just did a reading yesterday about Mercury retrograding and conjuncting the sun. So you might want to check that out. It really is how we are perceiving ourselves, and especially if we're wanting to make changes or do new things in our lives. There's like this moment in time when we first perceive where we are. You got to know where you're coming from first, right? So you can check that out. It's on the channel. So let's see where we're going today. This is an all zodiac reading. Each zodiac sign, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. I recommend you watch your rising sign first, then sun, then moon, then Venus last, and take little notes about each of those readings and see if you can pull together a story that is unique to you. And if you want to learn how to do that, you can learn in my tarot class. I teach that. All right, so let's see where we're going here. Pisces, you are first. And at the end of this reading, I will pull cards for everybody watching, okay? So time, we've got Saturn here. Saturn energy right out the gate for Pisces. You know, you had Saturn in your sign for 2.5 years, 2.5 long years. And now it's moved on to Aries and it's not coming back. So not for another 30 years. So this is time to sort of reflect on what you have learned over the past 2.5 years. It's the end of a 2.5 year cycle. It's also the end of a 30-year cycle with Saturn coming into Aries. And, you know, where have you been? Where are you going? And what are the lessons that you've seen come across for you in the past 2.5 years? It doesn't have to be that you're the one who's like, oh, you know, I really learned a lesson here. It can be just about like, wow, look how far I've come. Okay, that can also be the lesson. So let me do this here. Oh, that's interesting. I'm getting the Knight of Swords. And when I first shuffled, I get the Knight of Pentacles. So just keep that in your head because that's Virgo energy, which is the opposite sign to you. And we also in Pisces transiting is the North Node, which is activating mission and purpose from a spiritual perspective. This, you know, when the North Node is transiting your particular sign, no matter what planets you have in it, if they are hitting your sun sign, you could be getting some kind of new calling. A calling may show up for you. Your Venus sign, it can show you, right? Your Venus in Pisces can show you what you feel you are valued, how you are valued, and intrinsically have some kind of connection to a past life, how you're valuing yourself or how you're being valued by other people. This Knight of Swords here underneath shows up as internalized rage. So if there is something going on for you that you're not quite getting, seems like there's a lesson that's trying to be born here. Oh yeah. So showing up as the Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Knight of Cups, and the outcome is the Eight of Swords. If you cannot figure out how to get out of your own way, why am I not why am I not able to create more money in my life, create more power in my life, create more fun and joy? Because this is Leo energy here in the opportunity. Oh, well, let me try to recalculate this for you. Recalculating. I feel like you might be telling yourself a lie about what it means to your worth and value, that you're maybe not doing as well as you think you should be doing. I feel like you're aligning yourself or measuring yourself by other people's expectations. And the opportunity here is to lean into more fun and joy. But I don't see I feel like you might dismiss that out of hand because of some people around you. Could be a love partner, this Knight of Cups. Could be someone who is making some kind of judgment about where you are, and that's impacting your own feeling about where you are. This person might be making comments to you that are dragging down your sense of self-worth because I am seeing this 8 of Swords here in the outcome, kind of like this is the lesson that you're needing to really follow your own joy, regardless of what other people say. The 8 of Swords is being kind of tied up by other people's belief systems. And I see the anger and rage, all right, internally. Oh, yeah. 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles. There's something here about a lack of fairness. Feeling like things aren't fair right now. Like I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. There can be someone chirping in your ear. This feels like mother energy to me, about like, you know, why can't you be more like your sister? Why can't you be more like that Sheila that lives across the street and, you know, obviously is like having her best life or something like that. But, you know, she doesn't really know that. So there's something here about other people putting ideas in your head that are taking you down some kind of dark alleys, taking you down roads that aren't who you are. And it's time to really rebalance that for yourself. It's time to take your own opinion more, give it more weight. Because if there's other people telling you what you should be doing, then I think that's messing with your internal compass a little bit, okay? So I would steer clear of that. Okay, all right. So let's move on to Aries. We're going to go, we went from Pisces, we're going all the way around to Aquarius. At the end, I will read for everybody watching. Relief. Aries. You're feeling some relief. Well, thank goodness. Or maybe you're looking for some relief. I mean, Saturn and Neptune in your sign is no joke, okay? We also have Aries there. Aries is there. Aries is the female Mars. I believe Chiron is still there too. So there's a lot going on in Aries right now, and you guys are kind of center stage. Okay, you're definitely center stage. So underneath is this 3 of Wands, 5 of Wands, the Strength card. Opportunity is the High Priestess. Okay. Oh, I like that. Hermit, and the outcome is the 9 of Pentacles. Why are you fighting this? I feel like you might have a disconnect between the wisdom that you know, the embodied wisdom that you have, and a little bit on the Piscean side here about fighting other people's expectations. But there's definitely something here about you standing up for yourself. And I like this very much. And you might be expecting a fight when you stand up for yourself. I don't know. I don't think you're going to get it. I think whoever you're expecting the fight from, I feel might be like, you know, good for you or something like that. Like that's what I'm talking about. I really feel like they're going to be supportive, and that might be surprising to you. There's a lot of fight in you here, Aries, right now with this 5 of Wands. And you could be even fighting battles that you don't need to fight. You don't need to fight them. The situation is the Strength card. So this is requiring a great deal of courage to incorporate your spiritual knowing. This is the opportunity, this High Priestess and the Hermit card. So it's almost like you're in kind of this battle that you don't need to be fighting. You might be expending a lot of energy on this. You could just kind of stop doing that, right? You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain yourself at all. Okay, look at your outcome, 9 of Pentacles. No explaining. I don't need to explain myself. Why do I need to explain myself? It's possible that you've been doing that your whole life. The amount of energy you will save by stop explaining, stop justifying. This is really coming from a place of someone who hasn't been listened to, maybe in their upbringing, hasn't been listened to, felt unseen, unheard. And so whenever you're doing anything, you're you're almost like narrating the story for the people watching. Nope. That is coming through loud and clear. What you don't see coming is, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. You almost never, you never had to do it. But it's a coping mechanism. It's something that we do as kids to make ourselves feel safe. And so I'm going to say that very soon, probably by this late spring-ish into summer, there's really going to be an awareness. And that is the relief. Okay, that is the relief. There's something new coming in that feels quite lovely and quite spiritual. You might be connecting with someone, let's see, Virgo, Cancer, Leo, and this is the person that kind of teaches you this lesson, that is like, you don't need to tell me everything you're doing today. This is also coming from a place, maybe you've had an abusive relationship where that person expected to have, like, you need to tell me everywhere you were today and all of that. This new situation is nothing like that. Celebrate, okay? Celebrate. That feels good. That feels good. I don't have to explain myself anymore. Woohoo! All right, Aries. Let's move on to Taurus. So what is happening for my Taurus folks? What don't you see coming? Let's see. Oh, check it out. Trust. That is Scorpio energy, and Scorpio is your opposite sign. Scorpio is the one, the polarity of Scorpio and Taurus really does kind of teeter-totter on trust issues. Can I trust this person? Everything is either very out of whack and untrustworthy, or I'm completely in a solid place. Like there's nothing in between. There's something that is kind of important for you to learn to trust yourself. Okay. And so not so much externalizing trust when it comes to your relationships or anything like that, because it's not about like, oh, I'll never trust anybody again. That's not really it. It's about you learning to trust yourself to be able to see people more clearly. Okay, so underneath the Queen of Pentacles, I always associate that with Taurus. Queen of fixed Earth, right? High Priestess showing up in a lot of the readings today. 7 of Cups, Fool. All right, Taurus, I feel like you're on some kind of spiritual path here. Wow. Okay. 5 of Pentacles, and the outcome is the 6 of Cups. Something that you've always had faith in or trust in about your own self. Something you've always been able to do. So I feel like that is not a skill to trust moving forward. Like it's almost like the world changes so much that skill doesn't matter anymore. Or it doesn't matter to you anymore, right? That you can, you can always pick the winner of the Kentucky Derby. Okay, but like, that doesn't seem like it's very material to the direction you're going in. Or I'm very good with money, or I'm very good with resources, saving, whatever it is. I get the feeling that the new you can manifest at will. So why do you need to hoard? Why do you need to hoard anything if you can just manifest what you need at will? Do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a different skill set that's coming in here, and it's a very spiritual one. So High Priestess and the 7 of Cups. You're becoming some kind of, I don't know, up-leveled, manifesting, and still grounded with this Queen of Pentacles. So this is a very different path that is opening up to you. And I feel like you don't trust it. Okay. I feel like you are worried you're going to lose a lot of money or lose a lot of safety by walking a different kind of path than you have in the past. But look at this. The outcome is the 6 of Cups. I'm just going to clarify that for a second. That's like nostalgia for the past. I feel like if you go and do things like you did in the past, That's when you have this Five of Pentacles experience. But wait a second, I've always been able to do this. No, this is about the future. This is about progress. This isn't about you going back to an old, sorry, like I've always been able to go back to this old boss or this old job path or this old way of making money, and it's kind of like not there anymore. It's because Spirit is really saying you got to go forward. You can't do this anymore. Okay, and have no nostalgia for it. Ace of Pentacles, nice. Six of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. You're going to be coming in contact with some new collaborators, new friends, new opportunities. And while this skill set or this knack, I'm going to call it a knack. I don't know that it's anything more than that, but it's made you feel safe. This new group of people, or this what's important for you now is something brand new, some kind of new. You're going to need to learn some new stuff. Okay? If you've had a life that's been I don't know why I'm getting this, but something about living on the land, right? Living in a farm or living with a lot of land. There's something about being on the water that's a very different kind of life, right? Different things are required of you, different skill sets, different. You're living on a boat, you're sailing around the world. It's very different from every day getting up and feeding the chickens, right? Can we agree on that? And so there's definitely some kind of underneath you. What's underneath you is different. The foundation of this new direction is very different. So what this is saying is it's time for you to trust any new skill sets or new opportunities that come across your path. I'm going to say this to you. The other day I did a reading and it was very much about every week. I think Eleanor Roosevelt said, every day do something that scares you. And I'm just going to, because the world is so all consuming right now, I'm just going to say once a week, if you push yourself outside your comfort zone, I feel like you're going to get some opportunities that is going to bring you in a different direction in your life. And you're going to meet different kinds of people, have different kinds of experiences, right? When you cook different foods than you used to. We're not just having the same repertoire, okay? No more meatloaf Mondays kind of thing. Doing something different now. All right, so heads up on that, Taurus. Okay, Gemini, let's see what's going on here. Check you out, soulmate. Woohoo, I like that. That's beautiful. I see Virgo energy here too. I just saw the Hermit. Somebody who's kept very quiet into themselves. This person is not a major extrovert. They're somebody kind of quiet, but like super funny, not in a, well, maybe like a dry sense of humor or something like that. Six of Wands underneath. Page of Pentacles. You're showing up as the Page of Pentacles. So you're learning a whole bunch of new stuff right now. I think you know this, Gemini. You're on a new path. You've just come out of a chapter where you've, been in a battle or whatever this is, the Six of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Okay, taking stock, taking an assessment of what I've learned and what skills do I want to carry with me now? What do I want to fit? Like you only have this little, you see how he has like this little knapsack or whatever that is? You only have a small sort of container for what you're bringing forward from this previous life. In other words, you're not going to bring forward a lot of tears and recriminations and sadness or anything like that. Like all of those things need to be worked through and processed, and then like the wisdom extracted. That's what you take with you. And the wisdom is not like, the wisdom is just like the one sentence. It's not the months and months and years of all this emotion. So Page of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Ooh, doggy, look at that. The Empress, Seven of Pentacles. Oh, look at you on the ocean as well. Something about A little bit similar to Taurus here about being on the water, moving away from the land and being on the water, whatever that is, just, file that away. Okay. But this is about expectations. And what are you expecting after this major transformation? What is it that you're expecting? Are you expecting something big, or are you just trying to keep your head down and not get it chopped off again? I feel like you want to lean into the joyfulness, lean into something you are really going to be excited about creating, because it might take some time. The Seven of Pentacles, and I just want to say you've already started planting these seeds for the future. The Empress is the opportunity. This is Venus. And she definitely is. She's all the queens. Look at her on that throne. She just is very, very clear about what you want. And that's what is being asked of you right now, is just be super clear based on the wisdom that you have, based on what you're wanting to create, because you're sort of manifesting the thing that you're wanting to create. And here it is. I don't think it's super duper far away, but the Seven of Pentacles is in a timing position where for the past some years, I feel like you've been quietly planting the seeds of a future happiness, basically comparing it to a current not so happiness. And this Six of Swords, or the not so happiness that's passing away. Look at this, the Six of Swords. There's something about moving forward together. So let me clarify this Six of Swords. This is about moving out of rough waters into something sweeter and kinder. And let's see here. Ooh, Knight of Wands, Five of Wands, the Star card, and the Eight of Pentacles. So, so the healing has been taking place for quite a long time too. I like that. The Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles. Healing, I think you could really spot a lot of red flags now that maybe you couldn't have in the past for a soulmate. And you're really seeing and having some hope for the future. So there is somebody coming along a little more quickly than I think you'd like. So I almost feel like you might push back on them, or push back on the idea in general, and just be like, I'm focused on my work. I'm focused on whatever I'm doing that's really important to me right now. But I do have hope. This Star is really saying you have hope. So you're kind of standing there going, all right, I'm welcoming in this new chapter. And I just feel like it comes faster than you might want. And there's a sense of okay, not now. What are you talking about? What? No. Talk to me about the soulmate, please. Nine of Pentacles, the Devil card, the Ten of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. King of Wands. I have seen King of Wands come along. Loving the King of Wands. We got Virgo. No. We have Taurus and Libra here. Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, Sagittarius. So that's a lot of different kind of signs. But what I'm getting is you have been liberated from something that was super toxic, right? Going from the Devil card into the Ten of Cups. And I think that's a lovely energy. And here's the Nine of Pentacles. So 7, 8, 9 of Pentacles. There's progress here toward the thing you want to go toward. I almost feel like the Seven of Pentacles is saying kind of take your time. Take your time. Don't let anybody rush you. You are on track, and it's fine if you want to kind of push back on that. Because I don't think you're to the Nine of Pentacles yet. I think you're still at the Seven of Pentacles, where you're kind of investing in the person that you're becoming, and you're still doing some healing work. So nothing wrong with having somebody come in and just well, I'm not ready right now. And I feel like that person could stick around. So, get to know you as a friend or whatever it is. So don't push back too hard. All right. Cancer. Let's see what's happening here. Earth. Could be dealing with some earth energy. Your opposite sign is Capricorn. If you are I don't know if this is for everybody, but this might be for a few of you. If you have your own, on your birth chart, Saturn in Aries, you could be starting a Saturn return right now, Cancer. There might be some of you having that experience where you're about to kind of walk through some lessons. That's not for all of you. And it might have lessons to do with work or career. Okay, so hold on to that for 1 second. 2 of Pentacles underneath. 8 of Cups. Queen of Wands. You're going toward a fire sign, a creative person with an apology. Page of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so I would get ready for a different response from this person and maybe that's what's holding you back. Something about money is holding you back though, too. Something about should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I? Because you're getting this 2 of Pentacles. Should I go toward them? Should I not go toward them? And it has something to do with money. Okay. But there's a sense here that you might be going toward this person with an apology or with a small offer. And I feel like this person might surprise you how they respond, because the Judgment card is here. So I think they might be like not super welcoming for that apology, or they might say to you, well, that's great, but what are you going to do differently now? What are the actions you're going to take that are going to show that this is not just a lot of flowery language? I want to see a shift in your behavior. Okay. If you're expecting us to be friends again, you're expecting us to be, together again, if this is a love relationship, it can't just be this Page of Cups. Okay. Because you have like 8 of Cups around you. You have a lot to offer, Cancer. And I don't know, I feel like this person knows that you have a lot to offer, and you're kind of making, maybe a small stab at this because you're not sure of this person, how they'll react. But the outcome is the Ace of Cups. It's kind of like upping the ante. Okay. There's definitely something here that says they expect more than what you're offering. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Death card. I think they want to know what's been going on with you, especially around a commitment that you've made. Now, that could be a career path, that could be a love partner. I feel like if you come around to them, you need to really know what you're expecting, what you want to happen. I think they're going to ask you, what do you want to happen here? Are you saying, I'm sorry, and then I'm never going to see you again? Are you saying, I'm sorry, and I'd like to try to make a new relationship with you? What is it? Like, I think you need to know that before you go toward this person. Otherwise, they're going to think you're insincere. Okay? Now, Cancer, this can also be a move toward your own personal creativity. And I think you're very timid here about, wanting to lean into your creativity for your career or something like that. And the career is going to demand a lot more of you. Just like this, if this is a person, they're going to demand a lot of you. If this is a career path, it's sort of like you can't dabble. Like you can't really dabble in being an astronaut, right? You really have to commit. You have to do all the physical labor. You have to do all the learning, the understanding of how the rockets work and how everything works in space, so that you can be an effective astronaut. You can't just dabble in it, right? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as dabbling here. And this person or this path that you're choosing, and I feel like you're sitting on the fence or have been sitting on the fence for quite some time, 2 of Pentacles. That also might be an indicator of a lack of commitment. And that is not going to go well if this is a person. Like, what took you so long? So whatever you do, this relationship is going to change to your career path or to this person as you're walking toward and you're making some kind of like initial steps. Because right away, you're going to be asked to make a bigger commitment. Okay, so 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, the moon, there's your ruling planet, and the Lover's card. So you really have to know how you feel about this. You got to game it out a little bit. You can't just be like, well, I really want to repair this relationship. You're going to have to think a couple steps ahead because they're going to ask you questions. And if you don't give the answers that show that you've had any kind of thought about this, off with your head. Okay. All right, Cancer, that's for you. There's something caught in my finger. Okay. Let's see. So, Leo, for you, what you getting here? Okay, the talisman. Let's see. It shows up as a key, and talisman is really kind of a a lucky charm or something like that. And it's not a superstition, but it's something that you believe is bringing you luck, bringing you onto the good path. That is something, you're just feeling it. You're just feeling like, okay, I'm really being drawn to the path that I want to go on now. I'm really being drawn to it. You might have some kind of physical representation of that in your life. I don't know what that might be. I mean, it could be like a crystal or something like that that makes you feel safe and lucky, makes you feel good, and makes you feel grounded. All right, 3 of Cups underneath, 3 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, so I like this, Page of Cups, the 6 of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. So there's victory here. I like this a lot. This is initial stages of victory. We've got 2 3s and 2 6s, and then we've got the 9. So we're moving in the right direction. Cups and Pentacles, that's interesting. Cups and Pentacles are very practical. This is about, how do I feel about this path? How do I feel the direction I'm going in? I feel like you're stepping into more self-confidence every single day. The 3 of Pentacles is about collaboration. It's about partnership, especially with this 3 of Cups and that 6 of Cups. There's a lot of people around you who are working to help you. You may also have a lot of help from the spiritual realm. And okay, that's what this is. So this is like, if you're finding something in your travels that you feel is very lucky, you know what I mean? Like, it's like finding a heart stone on the beach, or going into a store and just being really drawn to something. I was really drawn to this ring when I was in Glastonbury, England. And it makes me feel every time I look at it, brings me a lot of joy. And that trip was all about a spiritual path that I was following at the time. And I just look at it and it reminds me of it. So there's some kind of physical object that you may come across recently or in the future here that is going to bring you a feeling of like, I'm going in the right direction. And even if you're kind of like, well, I don't really know. I just know that I'm still kind of, I'm at the end of the beginning, not at the beginning of the end, or something like that. I'm just getting that kind of thing coming through. You're at the end of a long road here, and there's a new path that's sort of starting. Other people are around you, and they're helpers. These people are helpers. I don't see any nefarious, I don't see anything challenging around you. I see a lot of people who are here trying to, kind of cheer you on, which is beautiful. Because look at this, the 6 of Wands, like he's finally like to the place where he's having some kind of victories and happiness. And other people are like, oh, good. That's really what is necessary. So something you're going to find is going to make you feel like you're on the right path. This Page of Cups in the middle. Okay, the Fool. Look at this new path. Fool, 7 of Swords, King of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. So you're moving on from a cold place. This is like the 7 of Swords, King of Swords, and the 6 of Swords. This is all like in the ice ice and snow. All right. So this is like a person who has a lot of ice in their veins, a lot of ice in their heart. You might be moving on from a work situation or a love situation where the person didn't have a lot of feelings, like they were disconnected from their feelings or something like that. And I really think you need to close the door on apologies. I think this person doesn't understand apologies. Even if they would apologize to you, they probably don't know what they're saying. Like it wouldn't matter because it's not real. It's just another lie, right? Just another lie. So just move on from that, because there's a whole bunch of people around you, friends and even spirit guides and everything, really cheering for you to just shut the door on that. And if you've been waiting for someone to in terms of like, I think you've moved on from forgiveness. I don't think that's the thing. I think this person is just very detached, and it's not worth your time paying attention to it. So just know, I feel like this talisman is saying, hey, you're going in the right direction. Just turn on your heel and keep moving. Okay? Keep moving. Okay, that's awesome for Leo. So let's move on to Virgo. Okay. Come here, you. All right. Now, Virgo, message coming through for you. That's a Luna moth. I had one of those on my porch right after I left behind an old life. I came out with my dog Stella, and there's a big rock that was right by my porch, and there was this giant Luna moth. I mean, it was at least 7 or 8 inches long. It was unbelievable, and it was very green and pink, that bright color green and bright color pink. And so there's something here about this new chapter kind of showing up in sparkly ways, or it looks so out of place. The new direction might feel really out of place to you, because that's what I thought when I saw that Luna moth. Everything around was dark green. It was in August. It was very dark green and lush and everything like that. But this Luna moth was bright, almost like spring. Okay, so that's interesting. Underneath is the 3 of Cups. We're getting that 3 of Cups a lot today. And this is a 33 card. Okay, Virgo, here you are. 9 of Swords. Page of Cups. Again, the Page of Cups showing up. The Lover's card. 8 of Cups. Another. Oh, and the King of Wands. Yeah, Virgo. The messages are trying to come through. I talked about this in the reading yesterday. The messages are trying to come through your dream state, and they're kind of knocking on the door, making sleep a little bit difficult. And I feel like you're being compelled to reach out to a person that you want to talk to. This person could be a Gemini, could be a Leo, Aries, Sag. And I feel like you want to physically go toward them, not just call them or text them or something. Like calling or texting isn't good enough. You really want to see this person in person. This 3 of Cups is friends around you kind of cheering you on a little bit, saying that's a really good idea, Virgo. Okay, you want to reach out to this friend. Maybe something went sideways and you want to get it straightened out. And it demands an in-person conversation. Okay, so this 9 of Swords, Fool, 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. This might be a little bit of heavy lifting for you. Okay, I feel like you don't understand completely. You do know that this requires an in-person conversation. Well done. But I think it's going to surprise you how much hurt or harm was caused. I think you're going to be very surprised by this, that there's a lot of heavy lifting to do to build this relationship back. And I think it will be a good thing for you to invest your time and energy in. This person is a friend or love partner for the duration. And even though it's a lot of heavy lifting to get this done, I think it'll be worth it, is what I'm trying to say to you. The message is trying to come through to you that, like, go see this person, have this conversation. Yeah, it's going to be maybe uncomfortable. And there's more damage done here than you think. But at the end of the day, this person's going to be in your life probably for the rest of your life. And you'll find out that it was well worth the time and effort. Wow. All right. That's for Virgo. Let's see where we're going with Libra. Oh, hello, Libra. Guides. This one is coming out too. Okay, new moon. So we got a couple here. We have a new moon in Pisces coming up. All right, new moon in Pisces coming up this month. Yeah. Okay, so that's right around the time of the vernal equinox. So that is the time to plant the seed of some kind of spiritual connection, or you're having an opportunity for some kind of spiritual connection. The guides are all around you. Look at this. Wow. Tower underneath, the Page of Swords, Two of Swords. There's the moon again, the 10 of Wands, and King of Wands is the outcome. Is King of Wands everywhere? I've been seeing you everywhere, King of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag. This is definitely Leo in this deck. I see Cancer here as well, and the Pisces energy. So we've got some water, got some feelings to iron out. Okay, I feel like you have been blocking someone from ironing out their feelings with you. They want to come forward to iron out the feelings. The guides are going to clear the way. This Tower is saying that you're being a little bit stubborn by blocking this person. And there's lots to talk about. 10 of Wands. There's lots to work through. Guides are saying you're being a little bit stubborn here. I feel like you feel misunderstood by this person. And that really is upsetting, very upsetting. 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. Notice the theme? There's a lot, we're getting a lot of the wand energy. So there's a lot of passion in this connection. And, but right now what I'm seeing is this watery, right? Cancerian energy, watery, Piscean energy. There's a lot of feelings around the reason you're blocking this person. But you know, what's happening is you're kind of damming up your own passion in your life by blocking this person and not talking this through, or not, you know, like you're going to just carry it around with you like a big bushel of lumber for a long time. That's a heavy lift. Okay. And I just see you being very resistant to wanting to talk to them. But I feel like this reading is saying you're going to get some kind of aha moment that maybe you need to unblock this person. Maybe a conversation would be the right thing to do, because I just get the feeling a lot of energy is going to blocking them, and it's not helping you. All right. It's just not helping you, Libra. So unblock them and have your say, because I do feel like they'll come forward to you if you unblock them. Woo. All right. That's Libra. Now let's move on to Scorpio. We're going to go all the way to Aquarius, and then I'm going to pull cards for everybody watching. Okay. All right. Grounded underneath, Scorpio energy. I like this. I just get a feeling of peace. Some of you are at peace about something right now. Some of you are at peace about something. I don't know. It just feels so good here. All right. Ace of Wands. The Star card. High Priestess. She's been showing up in a lot of the readings too. The 6 of Cups. Wheel of Fortune. And wow, the 10 of Cups. All right. So I like the Ace of Wands underneath. That feels inspired to me. And you're getting the Star card, you're getting the High Priestess card. This does feel very peaceful. The Wheel of Fortune in this position with the Ten of Cups in the outcome, there's something here about children, okay? Because I'm seeing like the Six of Cups is about children, and then like these two cards, the Star, can't show you on YouTube, but these two cards have like little doggies in them, doggies or pets or something like that. There's something about home and hearth here that feels very stable. She's actually in a stable. Okay, so there's something very very nice that's coming in that is going to feel very grounded and very stable for you, and very happy, not boring at all. Very happy, very connected. So Scorpio, it's just like this is like the moment. Ace of Wands, this is the moment where your optimism and your connection to you're creating a grounded life kind of pays off. Let me ask about this. Yeah, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Look at all this stuff. Seven of... Okay, so I am getting a lot of really difficult things in the past. The reason that this feels very tentative to me. It doesn't feel like it's here. It feels like a dream a little bit. And that's fine, right? That's fine, because this is very almost like perfect. Right now it's in the idea stage, and coming from all of this heartache and this Five of Pentacles and everything like that, it's no wonder that you're creating something that is perfect, right? You're wanting to create something that's super perfect for you. And you're embodying that, you're grounding that idea or that dream in your reality. There's lots of spiritual kind of ethereal energy right in the beginning of this. So I don't think this is what's happening right now. I think this is like the dream. This is the thing I want to create. And I'm working on this by anchoring myself in my hope and also in my healing, in my spiritual practices. I'm doing things that are very important for me. If I want to create something better in my life, you're doing a lot of good stuff to create that. Okay. It's not just like, you don't think it's just going to show up out of nowhere, right? Like, you know that you're having to put in some time and energy for that to happen. And I am seeing this as a real possibility, kind of like not too distant future. My question is like, why is this showing up here right now? Oh, look at that. King of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit energy, and the Devil card. Okay. Life is about contrast. Okay. And usually what happens is when we have some really tough things happen to us, we will have like this swing of the pendulum where we're going to get a lot of really great things happening to us. And it doesn't always work like that, but I feel like in this instance it is. And what I think you're wanting to do this time is to just be very intentional. I don't get that this was very intentional. This Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, Seven of Swords, Five of Pentacles. I feel like that was almost like you were walking around blind to what was really going on, and then everything sort of collapsed in on you all at once. There's very intentional wisdom being put to place here, Scorpio. I just want to congratulate you because, you know, yes, this does look like kind of a perfection kind of vision that you have, but like, I hear you saying it right now, like, what else would I be doing? Why should I be creating something that isn't perfect? Should I be creating something that's kind of flawed just so it's not like that word doesn't happen? No, create what you want. Create what you want. And I love the optimism. It doesn't, you know, it's not something I normally associate with Scorpio, but I love the optimism here because I think you're knowing that you could create something for yourself that's really amazing. So well done. And I do see that coming in. Maybe not immediately, but it's definitely on the way. Awesome. Okay. That's for Scorpio. For Sag, what's going on for my Saggies here? Ooh, check it out. Veiled. Something going on behind the scenes. What is happening behind the scenes, please? I feel like this is a little bit about you being quiet or not really being yourself. Not really being yourself. There's the Six of Swords again. We're seeing that a lot today. Six of Swords. There's the Wheel of Fortune. That's your card. That's Jupiter. The Devil energy. Page of Pentacles. Woo! Five of Pentacles. And the outcome is the Five of Cups. Oh, my word. You are done. Okay, this is like moving on from a very toxic situation. I feel like you've learned all you can learn. If you thought maybe this was going to reappear, I'm seeing Capricorn, Pisces. Okay, if you thought maybe this person was going to reappear, I don't think they are. I think this is really about letting go of a relationship that's been very kind of, yes, toxic, but also kind of addictive. And I do see you moving on from that. Like you're just kind of like, okay, I'm silently moving on from it. This veiled card makes me feel like you're, not that you're hiding from this person, but that you're like becoming somebody new behind the scenes. Okay, becoming somebody new. The Death card, the Queen of Wands, there you are, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. This is like a little bit of living well is the best revenge, okay, kind of energy. So you're having the experience of learning all you can learn from a person. There may have been some kind of addiction to this person, or this person addicted to you, or both. And it's been very hard to unhook from this person, given the fact that you have the Death card here. And also it's like, I've got to hide. I've got to just completely reinvent myself and get on with my life. Five of Pentacles. This person was really holding you back. So I'm getting the Death card and then the Queen of Wands, Ten of Cups. Stepping into some kind of really amazing chapter in your life. Queen of Wands and this Ten of Cups is beautiful energy. And then there's like anger that you moved on. There's an anger that you were able to kind of come out of it in a positive way. This person wanted you to stay down or to stay in pain or to stay in a financially broken or depleted place. This person did that purposefully, and they just were not interested in you kind of bouncing back. They wanted to make sure, in fact, that you wouldn't bounce back. So this is a bit of a darker message, but I do see you absolutely bouncing back in a big way, and them not being super happy about it. But by then you're kind of long gone. I don't know how they know that you're doing well, but they do. They're maybe hearing about it from mutual friends, or they're seeing you online or something like that. I would do a lot of keeping yourself private as much as you can. This veiled energy, keeping your location private. I wouldn't be talking a lot about where you actually are. I wouldn't be giving a heck of a lot of details. The Devil energy in this it's sort of like, it was like a mutual toxicity going on. You learned a lot from this. I know you did. Yeah. Two of Wands, Ace of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Definitely with holding your heart, not giving your heart away. This person kind of got in there and really took a lot from you. So whatever you have learned from this relationship, it really is time to put it into place. And there's something about holding back or being more protective of your own energy, of your own self. Okay, not giving away so much. That would be a really good thing for you to do. Okay, Sag? Okay, so now we're going to talk to Capricorn and Aquarius, and then I'll pull cards for everybody watching. So Capricorn, past life. What? Okay, wait, I'm not using that deck right now. Let's do this. Okay, past life for Capricorn. What is happening here? Past life. All right, let's see where we're going here. Capricorn, King of Cups underneath. Ace of Wands, King of Wands, Six of Cups. There's your card, Devil card, and then the outcome is the Magician. All right, Cancer, Leo, Gemini, Virgo. There's some kind of renewal of a relationship that kind of comes out of the blue. This is a past life soulmate. This is a person from your past life. This is coming down the road. And how you're going to know this is it's going to be very sudden, and it's going to be very suddenly very toxic. Okay. Suddenly, like almost like you feel like you can't break the tie with this person. There may be too much in your life very suddenly. This person spends a lot of time at your house, is constantly around you, is constantly talking to you, constantly texting you. It's very it's a love bombing situation. I would be very careful of this. Okay. Whoa. What's that? Okay. High Priestess, King of Pentacles, the World, and the Four of Swords. So this is short-lived. This is short-lived. This person is in your life to remind you that you can manifest your best life. This person is here to teach you a lesson about some kind of addictive pattern that you have that needs to be healed. You have new things coming in, new opportunities, new directions, lots of good things coming in. This person is going to, I feel like this is like a one lesson kind of person. This is like a Plutonic person. And I teach this class about Plutonic relationships. Basically, this person is Pluto energy for you, meaning it's a soul transformational energy that this person engenders in you. It's about power. Okay? It's about power. And they're trying to maybe siphon off some of your power with money or resources or something like that. They're trying to get a lot from you, take a lot of time or energy from you. Okay. I do think you see this because we have Mercury retrograding right now in the sign of Pisces. Mercury retrograde is going to come into contact with the sun. When we have Mercury retrograding in Pisces, Mercury retrograde is about how we think about ourselves, because it's in connection with the sun. The sun is who we are. Mercury retrograde, I'm rethinking this. I'm trying to consider who I am and who I'm becoming. And so there may be an opening for a very plutonic or toxic individual to kind of, capture you. And then, the minute you kind of wake up from it, it's like this fever dream breaks and it's like it spits you out. So it's not going to be a long-term thing. This isn't going to suck you in for years and years or anything like that. But this is one of those moments when, it happens, it's like all consuming. This person goes and you're like, what was that? What just happened here? Okay. The lessons, pay very close attention to what you learn about yourself, about how you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself. This is a past life lesson person that's coming through. And I feel like it could be done, like it could be like only a couple of months, maybe a month of your life, and then this person is gone. All right. So just get ready for that, because this is a lesson that needs to be learned before you can move into this next chapter of your life. You are becoming somebody that, you want to become, and you're like, on this path, and then all of a sudden this person kind of completely turns you around. So just be careful of that. Pay attention. Okay? Heads up. All right, that's for Capricorn. Let's look at Aquarius, and then we'll pull cards for everybody watching. Okay, Aquarius, growth. Oh my goodness. Oh my word. Growth. Whatever is on tap for you is going to also be kind of like the Capricorn energy. Like something is whipping through that's going to really teach lessons that are important for you to retain. Okay. Again, we got the Ace of Wands underneath. Magician showing up. Hermit. The World. Wow. Virgo. Gemini. Here's your card, Aquarius. Outcome is the Six of Swords. Almost all, so 4 major arcana cards, an ace, and then the final outcome is like, it's moving on. This chapter is coming to a close. Whatever you're learning right now, whatever you learned from a Gemini or a Virgo, this lesson is coming to a close, okay? And it's important that you extract the wisdom from it. Very important that you do that. There might be some kind of aha moment or new passion, new direction that kind of takes your attention off this ending. But I feel like Spirit is saying, don't overlook the lesson. Okay, don't overlook the lesson. Like 2 of Wands, Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is all future stuff. Oh my goodness. 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. Wow. Okay, this is why. So you might be tempted to just like, I just want to get on with it. I just want to move on with my life. I don't want to be dealing with this lesson anymore. I just want to go. And if you do that and you don't look at extract the wisdom from the lesson that you're learning, then somebody is racing up behind you. Look at this, 2 of Wands and that Knight of Swords coming right up behind you. 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords. That is, you are not seeing that coming. Okay, there's something about the lesson you're learning right now that you're trying to not get. I don't want to learn this lesson because maybe it's hard for me to look at myself and reflect. Maybe it's hard for me to see my part in things. Maybe it's hard for me to even understand what you're talking about, Mary Jo, because I don't want this lesson. I just want to get away from this. I just want to move on from this. It's coming back very fast to kind of bite you in the ass if you're not self-reflective. And okay, so this is not like forever, Aquarius. I know you want to get to the future. You're dragging around a lot of stuff with you. 10 of Wands, you're dragging around a lot of stuff unreflected upon moments in time where I did something, someone did something to me, I did something to somebody else. It's just like a bunch of mishmash. I don't care about lessons. I just want, like, let's just get on with it. Let's just get on. Let's just move forward. This is very important. There's nothing new is going to start until you start looking at yourself. Nothing new. You're going to get this 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 10 of Wands. You're just collecting bullshit. You're just collecting bullshit. Now, the Magician, you're coming up as the Magician, and magicians are very talented at being able to sort of morph from one life into another. So if you have felt like you're a chameleon in your life, I've had this kind of life and that kind of life all in one lifetime, but not really been super reflective as to why they ended or what lessons I learned in those chapters. Now is the hour. Okay, now is the hour, because there is a good opportunity coming in, and I feel like that might just pass you by. Nothing that's meant for you will really pass you by, but you're going to be one of those, you're going to be not sort of embracing the true energy of this new opportunity. You're not going to really see it fully or embrace it or even have any satisfaction or even any happiness in life until you really look deeply at your own at the lessons that have come before. Okay, so Eight of Pentacles, this is a lot of work. Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Five of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So this is really asking you to lean into doing the work. And the work has to do with shame. Has to do with shame. It has to do with maybe childhood stuff, maybe shadow work, whatever it is. And you'll know, because there's going to be, if you haven't really worked through a lot of things, that 10 of Swords and 5 of Swords is no joke. So I would look for someone to completely double back and extract some revenge, or they could, the lesson could repeat with new players, new people, and you're like, I've seen this movie before. That's the moment. That it's like the Truman Show when he finally figures out that, like, look at that, the lady on the bicycle, and it just keeps going around and around and around. He's starting to figure out that things just keep going. It's all around him. And I think this is the moment when you get sort of that, oh, okay, if I want to stop playing this game over and over again, I've seen this movie before. If I want to graduate from this and have some happiness in my life, there's only one way. There's only way out is through. You're going to have to look at what's been going on and extract the wisdom from it. Because it's like, you're not getting to that 37th level elf, you know, with those ruby boots and that stupid dagger from level 1. You're not going to be able to vanquish the king on that 37th level. So get at it. Like, learn the lessons you need to learn. Okay, so that's for Aquarius. Let's talk about everybody. This is a message for everybody watching. Let's see where we're going here. Message for everybody watching, please. Woo! All right, polish your mirror for perfect clarity. You decided to wake up, or else why did you draw me? Each evolutionary turn requires you to give up who you think you are. I see a theme here. Thus, one journeys to the stars. So a little bit of a follow-on from the Aquarian lesson reading that I just did, that there's something new to learn here. There's something new that's going on in your circumstances right now, or something that's coming online that you're going to see a new layer, see a new level of learning from, okay? And it might surprise you. It might be like, oh, I didn't think there was anything else to learn here. I thought I was moving on to a new kind of path. But some of you are really waking up. Some of you are looking for clarity in your life. You're looking for mission and purpose. You're looking for this next level of evolution. And there's some nuance. There's some new lessons that you may have missed. So please pay attention. Underneath is the Page of Cups, Two of Wands, ooh, Five of Swords, Page of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, that has been in almost every reading, and the Eight of Cups, right? In order to move forward, Hanged Man, the Sun, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. Again, more Virgo energy here. Lots of Virgo, lots of Leo. And I just am getting the feeling that there's a desire to move forward without really incorporating wisdom, without fully doing the work, right? Like, okay, I'm out of it. Like, something's finished, and I just am like, the Page of Cups is apologies. The Page of Wands is about being inspired. I see there's like some kind of excitement in the future that you really want to embrace with that Ace of Wands. But you keep turning your back. You keep not doing the hard thing. Okay? I hear some growling. Maisie, come on. Come on. I don't know. There's nobody out there. There's a desire to move on without doing the hard thing. Without doing, it's like I've done all of the easy lessons, and now there's this one thing maybe it's learning about trust, or it's learning about how to self-evaluate, how to embrace my own weaknesses. Everybody's flawed, right? How to do that, how to, move on from perfectionism, or move on from, because I'm getting a lot of Virgo here, move on from the way I've been. And because there's something about it that just feels very, I don't know, tender, or it feels very much like if I start poking at that particular bruise, it's going to feel too difficult. And then I feel like I'm going to collapse into not being able to move on like I want to. Like, it's almost like when someone flips a house, but they don't fix the plumbing. They fix the house, and new coat of paint, fresh coat of paint, maybe a couple of new things in the house, and some nice throw pillows and some rugs and stuff, but that plumbing is still effed up. Okay. And plumbing or electrical or whatever it is, like, you've got to get into the walls and see what the problem is. You've got to root down into the degree of difficulty. Each level of life, each level of our learning has a greater degree of difficulty. It does not get easier. It gets more challenging. Like, you wouldn't expect to go from high school to college and expect college to be easier than high school, right? Just because you graduated doesn't mean that you're going to relax the level of learning. It's going to get a little more challenging. And the same thing goes for, master's, PhD. Same thing goes for when you move up in job title. And, listen, when you're at those top levels, like, you kind of get stuck with all the hard problems. You get stuck, that's why they pay them the big bucks. The ones that are super competent and not running any kind of game. So we're talking about people who are very competent now. So I just feel like you're wanting to get up to these levels, or get to this, this new path really quickly, without doing the key learning meeting, without doing those things that are going to incorporate and lessons that you need later. And, you're going to know that because you're going to come up against the dragon on level 37. You'd be like, I don't have the right sword. I don't have the right, because I didn't do the work on level 14 that I needed to do, because it was boring. It was boring, or it was annoying, or it was hard to do. So I'm just going to gloss over it, right? I'm just going to not care about the plumbing. And that's the thing that's going to back up on you in the middle of the night. Okay. So this is what is ahead, is something really wonderful with this Sun card and this Queen of Pentacles. But you got to be willing to look under the hood. You got to be willing to poke around at the things that are the most challenging, the things that you're going like, ugh, like, I don't want to look at that because it's hard to. And maybe you've had a lot of hard things to look at. It's like, I just need a break from that. I just need a break from that. That's fine. But don't completely think that it's just going to disappear. Like, just give yourself a break, enjoy, do something that you like, but then come back around to it when maybe you're feeling a little less overwhelmed, or a little less upset that I have to do this kind of learning. Everybody has to do it. And those who don't really do it are really kind of standing in place. And that's even more frustrating. I used to say quite a bit that, the harder the choice, the easier the road. So the hard thing, if you choose the hard thing, if you choose the hard decision to make, like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to go back and make this up, fix this relationship. It's going to be awful. It's going to be embarrassing. It's going to be blah, 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 blah. But I did it. And that's one of those effing growth experiences that my mother used to talk about. Those are the things that later on bring resilience. It brings more confidence in yourself. If you feel like you can't hear your intuition, a lot of times it's that you're just not trusting yourself. You're just not trusting that you are connected. And the more you kind of sit in the challenge and do the challenges, the more you're like, I know I can. I know I can. So, all right, that's it for this week. That was a interesting set of readings. A lot of Ace of Wands. Lots of good things coming in. All right, my loves. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.